beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're doing a spring palette bingo. I've been having a lot of fun over the past few months doing these different seasonal palette bingos. It's just a fun way to push myself out of the comfort zone, maybe go towards some different color combos that I wouldn't necessarily have chosen myself. It's also a really fun way to just grab different palettes, make sure I'm not getting stuck in an eyeshadow rut. Happens to us all, I think. So today I have gathered up some springy palettes, some old, some new, some discontinued, some still available. Just a good mix. I always try to get a good mix of different brands, different palette sizes, as much as I can within the framework of the season or the holiday or whatever it is. Today, for my spring palettes, I'm pulling out these two 9-pan palettes from ColourPop. These released at the same time, and I believe these were a spring release, but they're definitely very springy anyway. So I guess I should go back and see when these were actually released, but they're giving spring vibes no matter what. Sage the Day and Petals and Point. I believe these are still available. This is what they look like inside. These have been around for a while. Quite a while. More in my comfort zone, more out of my comfort zone. Look at me, wearing pink again. Then, truly any excuse to use this palette. I used this in my last palette bingo too, the St. Patrick's Day one, but this is so springy. Sadly, this is discontinued, but this is my beloved collaboration that I did with Oden's Eye, and she's definitely springtastic. The fourth palette for the spring bingo comes from Lethal Cosmetics. This is the Mellow Grove palette. I'm just now realizing this has a very similar color story to the Sage the Day and Petals and Point palettes combined. This Lethal one just has some deeper tones added in. And lastly, a newer palette. This is the latest release from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Fairy Tale Europe palette. We've got some brighter colors, lots of shimmers, some very neutral matte shades. I hope we get one of the fun shimmers from this palette. So that is our newest and largest palette that I'm entering into the bingo arena today. Just like always, I'm going to use my little random number generator on my phone. I'm going to set the limit for my number generator to be 1 through 9, and we're going to pick some shades from these ColourPop palettes first. Let's just dive in with this pink palette, see what happens. Okay, I got shade number 3. This shade here called Satin Tips. Very soft, shimmery pink. Little swatch here. Okay, that's a nice easy pink. I can deal with that. Let's see what we get for Sage the Day. Number 8. Ooh! I got number 8. That's this shade. Cool. Oh, thank goodness I got one of the shimmers because I did not want to use one of these super pale greens. Ooh, I really like this color. Okay. That one is called Nature Bay. Okay. Whatever. Now, Flora Story has 10 shades, so let me adjust my number generator to be 1 through 10. And we got shade number 4, which is Sage. Very apt since we just did the Sage the Day palette. Although this Sage is actually the name of my doggy, my beloved doggy. She's in doggy heaven now, but she still is immortalized in this eyeshadow. Okay, I'm very happy with this so far. Really lucking out. I think these two larger palettes, though, are definitely where we could get a wild card. So let's see what we get from Mellow Grove. Mellow Grove is a 15-pan palette. And I got shade number 15, which is not very exciting. It's this one called Quiver. It's kind of a smoky purple, like a really dark eggplanty brown color. This is quite grungy for a spring palette, but I'm actually here for it. Beautiful. Love it. Who knows what's going to happen with this Fairy Tale Europe palette. I do hope I get a shimmer, though. I really hope I get a shimmer. Adjust this again because it is 18 shades. I got shade 10. Let's see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I did get a shimmer. All right. Not too crazy. This one is Sleeping Beauty. It's like a periwinkle, bluish purple color. Not too crazy. Definitely adds some lightness. All right, that's my color story. I'm not mad at it. I think this is super pretty. I am kind of wishing for one lighter matte shade to blend everything out, but this is not too shabby. I can work with this. I can definitely work with this. Hopefully I can create something here that lets all of these colors really stand out. I'm going to do my best. But I really like these. I like this color story. All right, let's zoom in and see what kind of look I can create with these colors. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. Let's give it a shot.
Just like usual, I'm starting with my favorite eye base. It's the Ulta Matte Eye Primer. I'm just using that to cancel out some of the veins on my lids and also give me a nice smooth surface to work on. Next, we're grabbing Sage from the Flora Story palette and using my absolute favorite ColourPop blending brush. I'm going to take just a little bit at a time because this is a darker color on me. I want to apply this really lightly at first. Then I'm going to layer some shimmers onto the lid and then I'll go back and deepen up this crease area a little bit. Right now, I'm more just laying out some color and sort of mapping out where I want my eyeshadow to be on my eye because I do have some deeper shades here and I don't want to go for a super blown out smoky look that can get out of hand too quickly. I'm just doing a little light blending in the crease first. Then I'm going to take this gorgeous shimmery shade called Nature Bay from Sage the Day. And using my fingertip, I'm just packing that all over my lid. I love how shifty and gorgeous this shade is. It really does a lot of the work for me. I don't need a lot of technique when I have just a gorgeous shiny eyeshadow. I bank on that for a lot of my looks. Now I'm going back and adding some more of that matte sage shade to blend out the edges and add just a little bit more depth to the outer part of my crease. And then taking Quiver from the Mellow Grove palette on a pencil brush and really smudging and smoking that along the outer half of my lash line. I'm not being too precise here. I know this is going to be more of like a messy swamp fairy type of look. That's almost always the vibe I'm going for, to be completely honest with you. So I'm really packing on that darker shade on the outer half of the upper lash line, and then whatever is left over on the brush, I'll just smudge on the lower lash line. I definitely don't need any extra shadow for that part. Now the shade Satin Tips from Petals and Point is applied to the inner part of the lid with just my little fingertip of my pinky finger. And again, I'm not being too precise. I'm putting this all over the inner corner area, but making sure to bring that brightness up onto the lid itself as well. And then the Sleeping Beauty shade from Fairy Tale Europe is being really heavily packed onto that lower lash line. I love this Fantasy Cosmetica detail brush for this area of the eye specifically. I wanted to let that purpley shade shine. So I really wanted it to be a bold statement on the lower lash line. Then I did just a little bit more blending, curled my lashes, added some of the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal Mascara, and that's it. I really think this turned out nicely. I love that I can definitely see each and every shade showing up in the look. I don't feel like anything is hidden or lost in the background. I can really get down with this take on a spring look. It doesn't have to be all flowers and prim and pastel. It can be a little bit of a pop of brightness, a pop of lightness, but also keep some of that murky, sort of outdoorsy vibe that's more like moss in the forest and not necessarily daffodils in a field, if you're picking up what I'm putting down for the spring look.
I feel like I was missing a lighter matte shade. Maybe I should have added in a sixth palette because I would have liked one really lighter, brighter matte shade to just blend everything, maybe make more of a pop of an eye look. But I actually can't complain because I love this. This is exactly the type of eye look that I like to wear. So once again, the palette bingo gods have blessed me with good shades. Maybe a little bit darker, a little bit murkier than I expected. I was expecting more of a springy, bright, pastel-y type of spring look. I really thought that I was going to get all of the lightest, pinkiest shades possible, so I truly can't complain that I ended up with some murky greens because those are some of my all-time favorite shades. I hope that this video inspires you to go through your palettes, maybe do a little spring palette bingo, or maybe some other theme if you don't have a whole lot of spring palettes on hand. And ultimately, seasons don't really matter. I mean, I'm rocking with my Enchanted Autumn palette all year round. So let me know what theme I should do for my next palette bingo. Should I do monochromatics? Should I do all from one brand? What do you think? What type of palette bingo do you want to see next? I always love to hear what you think about things too. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh wait, the castle's upside down. Let me fix it. I'll fix it. Okay, I'll fix it. Sorry. Woohoo! Did it. We did it, friends. We made it. Good job. Oh my gosh. I almost just dropped all of these and knocked over everything. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I had to really resist the urge to put this all over my brow bone, but I've been doing that for like every look lately, so trying not to. It would look good though. You've heard of Hot Girl Summer, but can I interest you in Moss Girl Spring? It looks pretty cute. I love a murky, swampy spring vibe, you know? I don't want pastels. I want swamp. Swamp colors. That's who I am as a person. Literally. This little pop of lavender underneath I think it's cool. It does have a little bit of a you look tired and potentially bruised type of vibe to it, but is that so inaccurate? Because I'm almost 40 and I'm tired all the time. I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I'm exhausted. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Maybe. You might know what I mean. I think it's lunchtime for me. I'm gonna go make a little Southwest chicken salad. A little corn, a little black bean, little spicy ranch. Maybe I'll chop up a little pickled jalapeno on there. You don't know. I'm getting crazy over here. I do like spicy food. I was just talking to my friend about that. Like, what's your spice level? Because I know people who think that just like black pepper, like what you put on the table in a shaker, is spicy. And then there are people who want to be like crying eating atomic wings. I feel like I'm in the middle. I like a little burn. I like to eat something and be like, ooh, I'm getting like a little sweat on my temples. I like that. I don't want to be like chugging Pepto later. Just right in the middle. I want some flavor. I want a little heat. I like a little while I'm eating, but I don't want to be like, afraid to touch my eyeballs. There's a balance to be had. But I know everybody's different. I actually did read a lot about spice tolerance because I could not figure out for the life of me why my spouse and I would eat the same dish, like cooked in the same pan, and he is just dying, crying, sweating on the floor, like not beside himself. And it takes me halfway through the dish to be like, oh yeah, this does have a little kick to it. Apparently, there are a lot of factors that go into this, and also apparently you can at least somewhat train yourself to become more spice tolerant. It's very interesting. Human bodies are just crazy, aren't they? What are we even talking about? I'm starving now. I gotta go get some. I hope you enjoyed this strange spice ramble, and I hope that you'll let me know about what your spice tolerance is like, and tell me about your favorite spicy foods if you have them. And if not, you know what? I'm not gonna spice shame you. You eat whatever you like. Whatever feels good to you, I support you. You want to know why? We're all waiting. Just kidding. It's because I love your face. Bye.